I think, one second. Yep, I think we are live on YouTube. Boom, boom,
We
boom.
are.
Look, yep, if you can figure out how to do the chat, that'd be great.
I'm in.
Okay,
We
perfect.
have a special guest appearance today.
Oh, Rowena's here. Perfect.
Special guest.
Rowena, do you have any questions for us?
All right. Quick
Well,
show. Quick
well,
show. 5 to 5:30.
yeah, welcome everybody to episode 11 of
Oh,
Pick Our
Cotton
Brain.
State's already here.
Already in the chat. Jeff is already in the chat.
He's
Welcome,
going to
Jeff.
ask you questions about bookstore ownership. Let's go,
All
Jeff.
right,
Let's
let's do it.
go.
You want to know the secret of owning a bookstore? You buy 10 times as many books as you sell. That's the secret. And you go broke.
No, no, no. Jeff
No,
knows you. Jeff knows you do well.
I do well online. I make a few dollars here at the store. But so sorry, we're starting half an hour early. Max has a obligation. He's actually filming a video for his channel, Paper Gold Podcast. I'll put a link in that in the description of this video after. Check out his YouTube channel as well. Has some really cool stuff over there.
And there's so many boxes behind you in crates. What is all that? I don't normally see those crates there.
Well, oh, this isn't bad. Usually it's the banana boxes.
Oh, okay.
I usually do the banana. Actually, this is very okay. It's a little bit cluttered. Um, but no, this is behind my checkout counter in the bookstore, and it's always piled with stuff. The back storage room's piled with stuff. The back hallways, everywhere's piled with stuff.
Is there a way you could show everybody the palette you got in today? Or is that
I brought the books in already.
oh okay. Okay.
I suppose I could bring a box over here and crack it open if you wanna. I
It,
don't know what's gonna be
I know that.
in.
Crack it open. I mean,
I'll grab a box.
yeah.
All right, these books came from a wholesale company out of Texas. And
That we talked about in Paper Gold.
yep, it's one of Max's secret suppliers. I bought mostly new literature, Jane Austen, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Hemingway, stuff like that, paperbacks and hardcovers. Some occult books, a little bit of everything. Let's see, the box.
This is exciting.
Oh,
I
here
love
we
this.
go.
I love
Okay.
this company. I love this company.
Okay, I got a bunch of these. The
Oh,
Egyptian Book of the Dead. I think this is by E. Wallace Budge.
yeah.
This is a nice model. Ooh, check out the page edges. Fancy. Uh, let's see. I'll
How
show
many
you.
copies of that did you buy?
Um, looks like 8 or 10, maybe.
Beautiful.
Yeah, here we go.
Beautiful.
Nice little
Look at
hardcover Book of the Dead.
that. These are you can't say brand new, but you can say like new.
No, they're new.
Yeah, I mean they're not straight from the publisher is what I
No,
mean.
but there are a lot of them that I ordered that were published in
Mhm.
2024.
Right. And
So
you're probably going to get some that are factory sealed as well.
yeah, this edition was published in 2024.
That's look at
Um,
that.
and I think a book like this probably retails for like $25. And you definitely pay a heck of a lot less than that. I'm gonna
What a
charge my customers.
great cover too. What a great cover
Yeah.
design on
Ooh,
that.
you're gonna like this next one. This next one. Same publisher, I believe. War of the World, H.G.
Who is
Wells.
the publisher?
Someone out of China. Um, Arc, there it is.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Arcturus.
Looks
So
like a looks like a Russian logo.
I ordered a bunch of those. Okay, we got some L.M. Montgomery, some Anna Green Gables,
Mm-hmm.
brand new paperbacks. Those are actually printed in the UK. So it's just a lot of great fiction, all the classics. We got Jane Eyre, we got Sense and Sensibility.
Well, you might want to add when you own a bookstore, especially for someone like Jeff, when you own a bookstore, you always want to have different copies of the classics in the stock at all times.
Yeah, yep, for sure. I usually buy the Barnes and Noble classics, the paperbacks, just because I can usually buy those at pretty reasonable prices. I also got some more than just paperbacks. I got some like fancy deluxe edition books as well. And again, this was Max's hack. These came from a wholesaler he's bought from over the years. So
If
I
you're in
figured I'd
if
give it
you're
a
in
shot.
paper gold, you know about it.
Yep,
Is that a
absolutely.
shame? Is that a shameless plug?
Uh no, I think there's lots of great things you can learn from
Yeah.
Paper Gold. Though I did one of the things I did want to bring up for this episode, which is just gonna be a quick one, half an hour. Um, I wanted you to talk about your consignment business, your book consignment business, and how
Uh,
you do go about doing that.
ooh, well, in order to have that conversation is deeply rooted in how I got my start in all of this, um, going back many years. So when I first started watching YouTube videos and Instagram videos about booksellers mostly Amazon scanning books, scanning barcodes. That is not my history of dealing with books. I worked in a rare bookstore, a general and rare bookstore for about 10 years of my life in my 20s. And so my knowledge came from the non-barcode sector of books. And so when I started watching these videos, it sort of converged with the same time frame that I was getting deeper and deeper into selling books online on eBay. Just me going to thrift stores, me going to the bins, me going to garage sales and flea markets, and just having an eye to find things and selling them. So as that business progressed and I started seeing all these videos, they would always refer to those non-barcode books as duds.
Mhm.
I mean, every one of them, it was like the keyword of for 3 years, like anything without a barcode was a dud. And nobody was talking about what I knew, which was there's probably more money in those non-barcode books, in those Gaylords, than in the actual barcode books that you're scanning, minus textbooks, of course. Um, but when the proliferation of scanning barcodes was hitting YouTube, everybody was just buying Gaylords, and they were just getting rid of their duds. They're non what they what we call non-barcode books, they call duds. And the gears in my head started turning, and I said, I need to contact some of these people, and I need to let them understand that they're throwing away valuable books. And I did contact a few Amazon sellers. I explained to them what I could do. We did a couple sample runs, just me and them on a phone call, video call, going through Gaylords. And one of the first Gaylords I went through was in the state of Virginia, and I'm in Florida. And the book buyer that I was dealing with, the bookseller, had a Gaylord, and I'm not even exaggerating on this. He had a full Gaylord of modern library books.
Wow.
That was
The
the
easiest
that was the
money on
yeah,
eBay ever, Modern
yeah.
Library.
And that was the first thing that I saw from this gentleman. And I sent him, I gave him my knowledge. I sent him a few screenshots of what these things sell for. He sent me about 500 modern libraries, all came from one man's a professor's collection. So he collected the very best. He collected with dust jackets. And that is how my business really started, is with those modern library books that I started selling like crazy for him on consignment. And that gave me enough initiative and desire and hustle to call a few more Amazon sellers, get in contact. Now, here's this. I wasn't on YouTube at that time. I wasn't on YouTube. But here's this guy calling a cold call saying you're throwing away more money than you think. And
Yeah.
so that's how the consignment business for me began. And then then I started getting, I got interviewed by Caleb Roth of Scout IQ fame. And Caleb Roth said to me, watch out, your business is about to blow up. Because once you talk about this, every Amazon seller out there is going to contact you. And he was correct. I went from about 5 consigners to about 30 consigners in a week with
Yeah.
boxes of books coming, delivering, getting delivered to my house.
And I will say a lot of Amazon sellers, they only care about the barcode books.
Mhm.
Maybe they will set some of the non-barcode books aside to look up, but for the most part, it's
Right.
not efficient for them to be looking stuff up and trying to learn the
Right.
collectible market. And you know what? There's a lot of really great books out there for eBay that are duds on
Mhm.
Amazon. And yeah, I mean that's an interesting way that you got into it at first.
Yeah.
And you
And
still work with tons of Amazon
oh
sellers,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And I'm over probably 90, I'm between 90 and 100 consigners
Wow.
nationally now, and that includes Canada. Nationally, oh, well over 90. Not all of them send me books on a consistent basis, but I also work with lots of friends of the libraries across the country.
Hmm.
I have almost 10 consigners that are just friends of the libraries that will send, they'll basically send me pictures of books on a library rack, nice and easy. I see the spines. I tell them what I want. They send to me. It's that easy. And the beautiful thing for me, as much as I love hunting, and I know you know how much I love hunting, the books are getting delivered to my doorstep. So I can say yes to books and they'll get delivered to my doorstep. My employees get them listed quickly and we try to sell them as quickly as we can and make the consigners happy. But it's now common knowledge for Amazon sellers to now try to figure out a way to bust through the time and maybe hire someone to do the basic research or
Hmm.
figure out ways to get 100% of the profit from the non-barcode
I
book.
think more likely they're probably more prone to find someone that already has that knowledge
You're
and
right.
hire them for their own business or
Right.
offload them, sell them
Yeah.
to someone um to come look through what
Right.
they consider duds
Right.
and cash in on it instead of otherwise just disposing of them.
Yeah, and I still get calls. I still get calls weekly from people who hear about me on an old YouTube video or a Facebook uh ad, or not an ad but a Facebook post or an Instagram post. I get calls all the time. And I have a consigner who was bringing me about 110 boxes from West Virginia. She's coming down here to drop off 110 boxes for me. So she doesn't have to ship them and she gets a Florida vacation as well, which is not the first time that's happened. I had a gentleman early on from Wisconsin who loaded up a what do you call those vans that
A
people live in?
U-Haul van?
No, the van, the Winnebago.
Okay, a
I had a
Winnebago.
gentleman bring me 300 boxes from Wisconsin
Wow.
in a
Was it meant to be?
Winnebago, and he enjoyed Florida for a couple months too before he went back up to Wisconsin. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that that's from Wisconsin. He was there. Um, so yeah, it's I love the idea of consignment. You get the best books possible. You don't have to rely on getting in the car and getting lucky at a flea market, at the bins, at a thrift store, at a garage sale. Um, you can manage that business through your cell phone and grow your business and scale it up as well.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, like one of the things people often ask about when doing consignments or when they want to consign books with me, is they want to know what you charge. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
It's 50-50 minus fees. I will take a little less if the books are very high end. So non-book related, but several years ago I did an auction for some art pieces, about 54 volumes of art piece, 54 lots of art pieces um that I did on Live Auctioneers. And because these were items that sold for 1,000, 5,000, $15,000, I took less commission on that. The higher the item, the less commission you can take.
Yeah, I will say I haven't done too much for consignment until this year. I've had a few pretty big consignment deals. And I just wrote up a contract, which I think I copied your contract. You share your
Mhm.
kind of generic contract that you have for your consigners. Another benefit of being part of Paper Gold. Uh, and basically, the way I worded it is I paid the consigner 42% of the sale
Mhm.
price. So if a book sells for
Right.
$100, they get $42. And that's kind of 50-50, and splitting the fees come to about eBay getting 18 some percent and you each get 42. And that seems to work out good. I've done deals in the past where I've paid people 50% of what they sell. Someone brought in a box of books and I sold them on eBay for 50%. I gave them 50%. I sold a couple $100 worth of books for them. So they got $100. And after fees, I was left with hardly anything. So and people, you know, sometimes are shocked when they hear that high consignment
Mhm.
fee, but to make it worth it for us. And then we're also providing quite the service, doing all the labor to list them and ship them and everything. And I tell people,
And answer questions. I mean,
yeah,
sometimes you have to answer lots of questions to get a sale done.
yeah. And I tell people you're better off listing it yourself. Try selling it yourself if you want. And if you don't have any luck, bring it here and I will definitely get it
Mhm.
sold for you.
Yeah,
We got a couple people in the chat. We got Viverka, that's Squirrel.
of course.
And then we got General Merch. Do you remember the worst smelling book you've ever found?
Oh, you need to take care of that question.
Well,
Well, didn't you just buy an odorizer?
a ionite, or no, what is,
Ionizer.
no, that's not right. It's ozone generator,
Oh,
which
okay.
maybe that's the same thing as an ionizer.
We
I don't
don't
know.
have an affiliate link for that, as you
That
can see.
those weren't the stinkiest books, but they were very musty.
Mhm.
They smelled a little moldy from being in
Right.
a storage area for probably for decades. Some
Mhm.
of them actually were a little moldy, but those got chucked. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I
an
won't sell
ozone
them.
generator.
I
Yeah.
won't buy them. I won't buy them and I won't sell them. It's too much work and too much headache.
Yeah.
So I don't
I'm
even I
still
don't
I
even deal
I
with them.
still have a few books in the back storage room that I bought 2 summers ago, I think, and used dryer sheets and baking powder and tried getting the smell, and they still stink a little bit. So I'm still selling them as books with an odor. But yes, most customers shy away from stinky books. Um, they just whether it's allergies or they don't want their house to smell or whatever, they just shy away.
Or customer complaints.
Yeah, yeah, and actually there was one collection I bought I think 2 years ago. It was an Easton Press collection, and these people had a massive, beautiful house, but they had cats. I think they had two cats, and the books had just the slightest little smell of cat urine. That's a very, I could smell it, but I sold the books and had zero issues. But it was just the slightest little smell, and I'm like, oh man, I hope this isn't an issue. But I had zero complaints selling hundreds of those books, so I got lucky.
Well, we should ask General Merch what the smelliest books they've had.
Yeah.
Put it in the
Yeah,
chat. General Merch, put it in the chat.
anything musty or smoky, like if they come from a how I've been to some estates where they're heavy smokers. That's another major issue with the books is they smell like cigarette or cigar smoke. That's a major detractor.
Yeah, cigarette smoke is common, very common.
Yeah, yep.
It says we have 9 people in the chat. Come on, everybody. Where are
Yeah,
you? Where are you
who's
from? Tell us
hiding
where
in
you're
the
from.
chat? Well, I will say I have 3 Whatnot shows scheduled. I just scheduled them today. Next Tuesday, I have just a general antique book show. The Tuesday after that, I'm going to do a religious book show from a collection I'm picking up next Monday. And then the week after that, I think I'm going to do antique children's books.
So 3 shows in a week span.
No, Tuesday.
Oh, 3 weeks.
The
Okay, I got you.
3rd, the 10th, and the 17th, I think.
And if I remember correctly, tell me if I'm wrong here. Tuesday is normally your day off.
Yes, it is. So it's not my day off,
You hear
though.
that, Jeff? He's got no days off.
No days off. If you want to make some money, no days off. But I don't do eBay listings on Tuesday, so I consider that to be a day off.
Yeah.
Not doing my 5-6 hours of eBay listing, still a day
And let's
off.
be honest, Whatnot is so much fun. It really is a good time.
I will say that I did 4 shows and then I recently did a show. So I think I've done 5 shows so far. The first
Mhm.
4, I was so nervous, but this one was just kind of a weird pop-up mystery show, spur of the moment thing, and I wasn't nervous at
You
all.
talk on YouTube and Instagram every
I
day,
know, but it's
and you
different. It's different. Look at you. You had a couple like glitchy issues that you're like, okay, let's try to figure out this
yeah,
technology.
but that's part of it, man.
No, it's different.
Technology.
I get so nervous before a whatnot show. You don't want to say anything embarrassing or I don't know.
That's so funny. Yeah. So getting back to the consignment. So yeah, that's what it is. Anybody can do consignment. Um, the biggest impediment to the success of it though is if somebody sends you 100 pictures of 100 books, you have to be very quick on saying yes or no to which ones you want out of that 100. Because of my knowledge of books and being in the book world, for all those years, I can look fairly quickly at a spine of a book and know whether it's worth selling or not.
Yeah, that's what when people send me pictures, I say just send me pictures of the spine,
Mm.
just like on the bookshelf, so I can read the titles. If I can't read the title on the spine, send me a picture of the title page. And usually looking at a shelf, me and you can pick out exactly what we want pretty easily.
Well,
I
and
do. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay,
I was
one of
gonna
the reasons. Okay, you go ahead.
go.
I just told you to go, but I'll go. Okay. One of the reasons I really love consignment and also some people that are trying to sell to you love it is because then they get paid based off of what you sell the stuff for. A lot of people selling, if they inherit grandma's book collection, they're worried, well, like I looked this book up and it's worth $500. I think this collection's worth 20,000. And instead of you making them a lowball offer, you can say, hey, listen, I'll just sell them on consignment for you. And then you get a percentage of what I sell them for. I think that that's a great selling point for people. And then the biggest thing is not putting money up front.
Right.
Because if you front thousands of dollars for a book collection, it could take months before you break even. Okay, now what were you going to say?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I
See,
don't
I
remember.
told you to
I
go
just,
first.
anybody can do it. They can ask us questions about it. I just think that most people who have books in their home, valuable books in their home, most of them don't want to go through the rigmarole of what it takes to list, sell, ship, answer questions. It's not a passion for them. And so that's why the consignment end of what we do is such a viable and beautiful business opportunities because we're doing what we love, number one. And number two, we are solving problems for families. And oftentimes these families have someone who has recently passed, and sometimes money for the family is needed, and you can help the family out that way.
Yep. And it really varies when you deal with people trying to sell you books. Some of them just want the quick cash up front. They don't
Yeah.
care. And then others want to try to get top dollar. And otherwise there's never a well, for the most part, you're never going to pay someone up front 50% of what something is worth.
Right. Yeah. I mean, boy, this is such a tangled conversation because, in one respect, we were talking about me starting my consignment business and talking to Amazon sellers who only wanted to deal with barcode books. There seems to be a giant misconception out there that eBay takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and there's no payoff. And I think that's so far from the actual truth of what people like you and I do on a day in, day out business.
Yeah.
Um, you know, to scan barcodes is a different set of skills than it is to do what we do. But I think that the higher payoff, the bigger ROI, the bigger return of investment is in on those non-barcode books, even though those barcode books, velocity wise, may sell quicker. But do you want to make $8 to $15 on a quick book, or do you want to try to make $200 on a book that takes a month to sell?
Yeah.
So,
And I would say me and you are selling $100 plus profit books every single
every
day with
every
our
day,
eBay business. Yep. And at
every day.
Amazon, I don't know if there's unless they're the huge sellers. I don't know how many of them are making $100 profit on single books regularly.
Right.
They're making lots of tiny little profits
Yeah.
and they're putting in a lot of
Right.
work to get there. But eBay is definitely if you want to make big profit on stuff. And I guess the biggest thing is if you want to make big profit on books on eBay, you need to be listing really good inventory consistently.
And you and I always say this, you know, people always trying to figure out how to sell books quicker on eBay or Amazon.
Mhm.
And what do you and I always say? Source great books.
Yeah.
And you'll sell great books.
Yeah. When I notice my sales ticking down for a month, it's because I haven't been buying much really good inventory. And I notice my sales slow down when I'm not
Right.
buying, but when I buy a big Easton book collection, I'm hitting records every day. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking right now just to be transparent with our audience. On eBay right now, I've done 825 today on eBay. And then I've done 2 Whatnot shows, which gave me another 900. So it's probably going to be a $2,000 day. And that is not Amazon money. That's eBay and Whatnot. And I just want to, we're going to talk about this in depth a lot more coming forward, but eBay is not difficult. Shooting a few pictures for the ROI is not a headache. It doesn't get in the way. And I just want to start putting that misconception aside because I think
Yeah.
it does a great disservice to people out there who want to start doing what we're doing, whether it's Amazon or eBay, and they're trying to figure out which path or paths to go down.
Well, and I think your suggestion is always to diversify and get it. You haven't cracked through my skull yet, but you are pushing me to do Amazon, sell on Amazon, and I just haven't got to that point yet.
You'll get there.
You
I'll
do
keep
say
pushing.
you tell me there's certain books that are just better for Amazon. There's
Of
you know, I
course.
do great on eBay. There's some that are better
Yeah.
for Amazon, and then Whatnot. You're slowly pushing everyone into Whatnot, and
Right.
there's some people that are gonna have great success on Whatnot, and some that just aren't.
Yeah. And you know, there's this, I don't feel it as much anymore, but for a while there was that almost Democrat Republican hate. You either love Amazon and hate eBay, or you love eBay and you hate Amazon. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You can do it all. I mean, I do it all, and you just have to know what is better for each book. We don't have to take sides on this. The only side you have to take is the bank account side, putting money in your bank account.
And I do love the idea of mailing stuff FBA to Amazon.
Sure.
Let them deal with it. They charge the heck out of you with fees, but I love the idea of mailing them in books that you know are going to sell hopefully within the first few months.
I would almost say some of those special books you got today that you showed us would probably be very good for FBA.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try a couple of them on Whatnot and eBay.
Yeah.
And then most of them will be in the store.
Any more questions for us? Because I know my time's almost up. I want to make sure we get out the questions.
Max had a very busy day. 2 Whatnot shows, 2 YouTube shows. Plus
Zooms coming on. 2 Zooms.
Dentist was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yep. All right, General Merch, my favorite quote from the last bookseller book. If you ain't buying, you're going out of business. To a point, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. You got to always have fresh inventory.
Dang, I am missing all these chats. Jeff threw a bunch of chats out there. Do you see all Jeff's chats?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not ignoring you, Jeff. I'm
No,
I'm
my
letting
phone
Ken take the lead.
my phone isn't updating the chats. So Max, read some more chats and we'll
All
finish
right.
this.
Jeff says books being in a basement for years. Yes.
Yep.
Hell, I didn't want to end my show. Okay, so Jeff did Whatnot yesterday. And
Okay.
he didn't want to end his show. He did so well. What he was far in the raid train, wasn't he? On Saturday?
Was he? Were you in the raid train, Jeff?
Well, he didn't. Either way, he didn't want to end his show, which means he was enjoying his Whatnot experience. He's done Whatnot before. He's a very good bookseller. And is consignment not hard when it comes to taxes? I mean, you have to have a bookkeeper. A bookkeeper has to help you out.
Yep.
You know, you can do it yourself, but the time it takes to figure these things out, you better to rely on experience.
Well, and mine was pretty easy. The last consignment deal I did, I would just add up the total sales for the month, cut them, or sorry, for the week, and then every Monday I'd send them a check.
Mhm.
And so basically they just got 4 or 5 different checks. And that was my expenses for the
Right.
collection. I don't think it needs to be any difficult. It is a little bit wishy-washy, like with me doing auctions for people. You have to wait to get paid for those auctions, and then
Right.
you also have to factor in there's possibility of returns in the future, with eBay up to a month later. So
Yeah, my bookkeeper always asks me the same question. Okay, how many books did you buy about, and how many books did you sell about? That's it's, that's the questions we get all the time.
perfect. All
All
right.
right.
Well, Max needs to get on to his next project of the day, and maybe you can take a break.
Destination unknown, 6 p.m.
Yep. Check a little Paper Gold podcast on YouTube. Max had a really great
Now,
time.
what's going on? What's going on next week? We're getting closer to the holidays. Are there any shows we're going to be missing because of the holidays?
Let me check my calendar. Next Monday is December 2nd.
So we're good there.
Yep, we're good. Nope, we're good. Then we got the 23rd of December. We got the 30th. Then the 31st is New Year's Eve. So I think we're good. I don't have anything coming up on Monday, so we should be able to keep up with our Monday
Yeah.
schedule.
Okay.
4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern.
And the last bit of information we should share is you and I are working on an end of the year show with another special guest.
Mhm.
So we're hoping to have an end of the year review of all of our businesses, but we're hoping to get one more special guest first to have a trio, and everybody I think will enjoy that.
Yeah, that should be fun. A special guest hasn't confirmed.
Yes,
Uh, so we'll see. We'll
we
see if we'll
gotta
be able to
keep
talk them
twisting.
into it. Yeah, 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 yeah.